Hey there, Cosmonauts! It's great to be back with a new video. This one is gonna be a wild one, so settle in. In this video, we will cover the upcoming Game of Chains and the Cosmos proposal number 77, the ledger support for the auto-compounding staking rewards, the ibc-go v6 updates, and ABCI++, and of course, updates about Atom 2.0, and much more super exciting and important news. Also, we are super happy to announce the official launch of our new Osmosis and Evmos focused news sections. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Tech. The ICF released a blog update about Tendermit's new application blockchain interface, or ABCI++. Please read the full article for all the details, but here are some highlights. The new process proposal method complements the first method, the prepare proposal, by allowing the application to also check all transactions in a proposed block. With this, only if the proposed block is valid to both Tendermint and the application will the validator send the pre-vote for the block. Then it will be possible to guarantee that no invalid transactions are ever committed. Moreover, the threshold description method could also be used to encrypt user transactions, which would only be revealed after 2/3 have agreed on the block itself, which would then prevent front-running in other forms of minor extracted value, or MEV. The first ABCA modification, called V0.37, will include prepare proposal and process proposal. The final release will include finalized block and vote extensions. For information, Cosmos SDK developers will see the new interface incorporated in V0.47. The ICF released another blog post titled ibc-go v6 Changes to Interchain Accounts and How it Impacts Your Chain. Here are some key highlights. This diagram shows the overview of the ICA design after the changes. So any SDK module, such as Gov, Group, Auth, can now register an interchain account, or ICA for short, and send packets on its behalf. The changes made to ICA will make it easier to become a controller chain, since it simplifies interaction with the controller submodule and supports the use cases of Gov, Group, and individual accounts by default. As part of the improvements made to ICA, the Gov/Group/Auth modules will now act as the underlying apps by default, and no additional code needs to be added to be compatible with these changes. Regarding the need for application callbacks, ADR008 addresses this issue, and Ethan Frey from T-Grade brought this to attention and gave feedback. In addition, the term authentication module, which was previously used to describe a custom IBC application module on the other controller chain used to register/manage an interchain account using its custom logic, is now being deprecated. Instead, it is to refer to as the underlying app, or base app, from now on. Cosmos Station announced a new feature for the MintScan block explorer called Block Consensus, which can be found in the Validators tab and then on the right above Block Time. This feature is useful during chain halts or upgrades, and also for validators when a chain is particularly slow. As a reminder, Tendermint is the consensus algorithm for blockchains in the Cosmos ecosystem. If over 1/3 of the stake is offline, this would lead to the halt of the network, which is why decentralization of the stake and supporting smarter validators is very, very important. Over 2/3 stake majority is required to achieve consensus, and this can now be viewed at MintScan. Also, the pre-vote and pre-commit columns shown at MintScan refer to the consensus round structure. So essentially, it begins with a block proposer, and then each validator node needs to broadcast a pre-vote. If there are over 2/3 pre-votes, then the same pattern will be repeated for pre-commits. Once there are over 2/3 of pre-commits, then the block is executed and the state is updated. The no-scam blockchain explorer for GNO Land project was announced. The GNO.land project is being built by Cosmo co-founder Jay. Support for more on-chain data and network metrics will be added as GNO Land continues its roadmap. The new Cosmos Hub white paper was released, also referred to as Atom 2.0. The two key new concepts are the interchain scheduler and the interchain allocator. The interchain scheduler is possible thanks to the latest ABCI++ upgrade, which allows transactions inclusion and ordering to segregated, and the rights to order transactions for a designated block in the future can be tokenized, traded, and transported over IBC. Thanks to these new capabilities, a secure cross-chain block space marketplace and maximum extractable value, or MEV for short, solution called the interchain scheduler has emerged to benefit from MEV opportunities and monetize the IBC success. The issuance will also be modified, and the new issuance during the first 36 months, called the transition phase, will be used to bootstrap the Cosmos Hub treasury balance, which will then be used to capitalize the interchain allocator, the second key new concept from the white paper. The function of the interchain allocator is to provide new Cosmos projects a more efficient path to user acquisition, liquidity, and long-term ecosystem alignment. Moving on, the Technical Advisory Board, or TAB for short, is a new ICF governance body to direct technical and market strategy, to guide the ICF's treasury, and to coordinate it with complementary funding sources for Cosmos and interchain public goods. Leaders from the Cosmos ecosystem are being invited to participate as members, including Zaki as its chair. DeFi and staking. With the recent Keplr upgrades, users of Osmosis and Gravity Bridge can now pay their transaction fees in IBC-enabled tokens that they have in their wallets, even without the native asset like Osmo in Osmosis, for example. In Gravity Bridge, initially, USDC and USDT are available as fee tokens, but once validators agree to allow other assets as fee tokens, then additional options can be added. For example, validators could coordinate to accept Juno as a fee on other chains. Also, Juno and Osmosis fees can now be paid in Atom, and documentation is available for validators and those running RPCs to accept Atom as a fee token. This is great news and increased usability of the Cosmos ecosystem, so I'm really happy about this. The issue with auto-compounding of staking rewards was that no support for Ledger was yet available. But now there is some amazing news. Asaf Morami has supported Restake for the Ledger integration, and Secret Network will be the first chain with Oz Ledger support. However, the main work has already been done, and now it'll be easier to add support for additional chains. In fact, the chains that update to v0.46 will be supported automatically. And moreover, users won't need to unstake their tokens in order to use this new auto-compounding option with the Ledger hardware wallet. And moving on, the final version of the ICF delegation policy, including updates taking into account all the community feedback, was received and was initially accepted for the 20th of September. However, given the large amount of feedback it received, it was initially delayed to September 25th and finally to the week starting of the 3rd of October. The USDC stablecoin will be native on Cosmos, secured as a consumer chain by Atom using interchain security and the interchain scheduler. While USDC is already available on Osmosis, this is still a bridged asset. Kava, a DeFi project in the Cosmos ecosystem, with Proposal 97, which was passed earlier this month, will incentivize with inflation rewards builders to use Akash. Or in other words, Kava will incentivize DeFi on Akash, which is building a decentralized cloud, and they want their network on Akash so Kava can be more decentralized. Moreover, proposal number 97 will also kickstart the setting up of more validators to Akash for Kava, but also other Cosmos ecosystem chain, since some security issues were recently resolved and testing is currently ongoing. So important updates are expected from mainnet 4. Also, it is estimated that Akash currently has 20% of the Cosmos ecosystem, and it's on track to get 80% by next year. Juno news. Croot announced the hiring of 2 full-time teams with additional 8 engineers to focus on Juno SDK development. This is great news for Juno. Now it is possible to use DAO to manage your validator account. Or in other words, on Juno testnet, there is now a validator fully controlled by a DAO. Moving on, Demi announced that he has resigned from Stakefish, where he was a protocol specialist. This also is great news for Juno, since he now will be working mostly on Juno. And furthermore, the Juno proposal for the called Juno v10 upgrade was passed. The upgrade is to alter the mint module and for other changes, including bug fixes, changes to the CLI, and changes in contract compilation cost. Osmosis news. The Osmosis Proposal 335, called V12 Oxygen Upgrade, has passed. This upgrade included new features such as time-weighted average prices, interchain accounts were enabled, and CosWeb's contract developer features. Osmosis also organized an amazing side event during Cosmoverse with Mars Protocol. XLR has now been natively integrated in the Osmosis front end. For example, when you click Deposit USDC, you will then connect your MetaMask and directly bridge USDC from Ethereum to Osmosis. This offers a much better UX and also is safer for Osmosis users. Evmos news. The Evmos mainnet VA.1.0 upgrade proposal 59 was passed. It will include several improvements, such as upgrades of Ethermint, ibc-go, and Cosmos SDK. The Evmos Foundation reduced total stake from 17 million to slightly under 10 million. As a result, the APR increased slightly. The Evmos Foundation aims to stake to around 50 validators, which is a third of the active validator set to date. They're also looking for opportunities to support eligible validators to enter the active set. The Evmos Proposal 62 is an interchain diplomacy proposal asking the Kava community to reward Ethermint past development efforts until September 1st of this year, with 2.5 million Evmos tokens. These tokens will then be used to stake the active validators to have under 0.66% voting power in order to improve the Evmos Nakamoto coefficient and to fund the Ethermint development from staking rewards. Moving on, Dispersy has added a native ledger support to their staking app, and previously MetaMask was needed, so this truly is a step forward. Drama and hacks. It seems that things are getting increasingly positive in the Cosmos ecosystem with less drama. In fact, to further reduce potential dramas, the ICF released a blog post called Cosmos History Part 1, Inception to Pre-Launch, with the history of the Cosmos project reviewed and accepted by Jay, Ethan, and Zaki. A Part 2 will be released very soon. Project launches and network upgrades. The secret network proposal 110 called Shockwave Delta Upgrade was passed. It includes ledger support for OS for ledger autocompounding, among other features. Moving on, Anamika, which is one of 3 entities in which Ignite separated along with New Tendermint and Ignite, is aiming to bridge the gap between the digital world of cryptocurrencies and the physical world. They released a video to better explain some of their projects. The Lava project came out of stealth mode. They are building a decentralized infrastructure layer for blockchain RPCs. In other words, they will bring scalable, private, and censorship-resistant access to Web3. They've already received nearly 1,000 applications to their private testnet. Moreover, it seems that they will be collaborating with Akash for their project. So, decentralized RPC nodes will be on a decentralized cloud. Governance. The Cosmos Hub Proposal 77 is seeking to approve funds of 20k atom worth of incentives for the incentivized interchain security testnet called Game of Chains, which is expected for November. This Game of Chains follows the previous Game of Stakes and Game of Zones. From the total amount, 10k atoms will be reserved for the Cosmos Hub validators, who complete interchain security tests and milestones. The other 10k atoms will be reserved for bonuses to validators who help identify bugs or performance issues or help develop new tools. In case of any unused funds, they will be returned to the community pool. The funds will be managed by a 2 out of 3 multi-sig committee, which includes Zaki Menian, Juno and Judith Vera. The tested jury will also include them, as well as Billy Rendekamp and Jehan Tembak. The goals of the game of chains will be to test interchain security in mainnet-like conditions, and to give Cosmos Hub, the validators, the opportunity of building confidence around running the interchain security protocol. Validators will need to expand their node operations and governance efforts for each new interchain secured chain. Airdrops. The airdrop for the Ribus chain, which is bringing DeFi investments to TradeFi investors, is now claimable. There are several tasks to perform to receive the full airdrop, but currently you can only stake and vote. The additional tasks will be to mint one NFT ID on Ribus and to use the Ribus Vault. Events, conferences. During Cosmoverse, it was announced the Cosmoverse Awards with several categories, such as Best Developer or Most Decentralized Project. Among the side events at Cosmoverse, a special mention for the Sisters Night Out, which was a ladies-only event to gather together all the Cosmos ladies. OmniFlix also organized a great and fun side events. Here are some of the photos of the event. As a reminder, OmniFlix really helped make Cosmoverse happen since they powered the Cosmoverse ticketing, registration, livestream, and in-event media programming. General crypto news. Major fiat currencies like the euro, the yen, or the pound sterling are crashing against the US dollar or the Swiss franc. For example, the euro is at the all-time low against the Swiss franc and at the 20-year low against the US dollar. And the pound sterling wasn't so low against the US dollar since the mid-80s. When fiat currencies in countries like Argentina and others were losing value against the US dollar due to inflation, people chose Bitcoin and crypto to protect their wealth. Therefore, it will be very interesting to see the impact that the current fiat currency situation will have in crypto. Conclusion. This video is now coming to an end, but before it does, I tell you all that we released a new blog post called the Cosmos Ecosystem Staking Guide 101, and we add the link in the description below so you can easily check it out. Also, our video designer Anita, who worked previously at TikTok, prepared a nice trailer video for Cosmoverse, which was shared the first day just after Zaki's speech. We've added here the trailer as well at the end of the video in case you missed it at Cosmoverse. As usual, please don't forget to click like and subscribe if you find these videos useful. With us, you won't miss any important Cosmos ecosystem news during the first half of October with our next video. Also remember that we now have focused sections about Juno, Osmosis, and Evmos. In addition to all of that, we provide in-depth assessments of the most important news. That's all my time for now. Thank you so much for watching and for all your support, Cosmonauts. Have a great week, and I'll be seeing you all very, very soon. Goodbye!
Warning.